So as you can see by the title, I decided over the weekend to do 3,000 polypore charges, which is what you get when you first buy it. I decided to do 3,000 of them and use them all at barrows and see if I could get my money back or make a decent bit of profit. So as you see on the screen at the minute, this is just a map of barrows showing you where each one of the people are. As you can see on your screen at the minute, there is a map of barrows and each one of the names is on each one of the mounds. And this is from north at the top to south at the bottom, I believe. If you're watching this video just to see the loot of what I've actually got from all the polypores, then feel free to skip probably about 6 minutes in from the end, because I'm going to do like a little guide for people who don't really know what they're doing around the barrows area. But anyways, on each one of the mounds, as you can see on your top left, there's Barak. Excuse my pronunciation if it's not right, I don't really have a clue. But anyways, he hits through prayer quite well, so there's no real point actually praying against him, just save your prayer points really. And if you've got no prayer points from running through the tunnel at the last trip, then go to him first. Next to him on the right is Dark. He can hit proper high when he's really low health, so pray always against him. And then just down from here is Guffin. He can refill his health when he hits on you sometimes, I believe. I don't think it's all the time, but you'd have to pray melee against him. In the middle at the bottom is Kirill. He's a ranger, I believe. Yeah, he's a ranger. So you want to be playing range against him. On the left of him is Torag. I'm not too sure what his ability is, but pray melee against him. Arim in the middle, you want to be playing mage against him. So I'd thought you'd all be probably quite a lot confused after that little bit there, but so I decided to put in a little run just to demonstrate what I meant. And recommended gear for fairly low levels would be Mystic and some prayer items to boost it up. She will be praying for the most of it. Polypore stuff works kind of, well, actually pretty well against all of them, surprisingly. A D-Mace for the spec for Arim, because he's obviously a mage, so he's strong to be mage. And I'm actually using 2 quest routes, I believe, which was the underground hollow thing near the bar in Canifis, and the boat thing, I don't know what that's called, but it takes you to Morton or whatever it's called. Here I'm showing you the way I go and the way you would go if you haven't completed the quests. For this whole Canifis area you need to have completed Priest in Peril, I think, something like that. It's not a very hard quest to be doing. But anyways, for the short route you want to be going where the mouse is going. I can't really see it in a minute because it's all unrendered on all sorts. But yeah, it's not too far if you've done the quest. It's about, I don't know, like a 30-second run or something like that. The long way does take quite a while and you might lose some food. But anyways, you want to be heading off down to this little trapdoor underneath the pub or the bar in Canifis. Just run through the little tunnel thing, come out the entrance on the other side. You'll end up in the woods. Go around the back of that and you'll see like a tree ladder rope thing. Cross that, straight forward. And the boat should be just over here. Yep. Once you hop on the boat, it's just a short little drive to Barrows and it puts you straight outside. When I actually come to this time, I actually have full prayer points, so I don't go to Barak first because it's just a waste of prayer points really. So I go to Dark, but if you do have no prayer points, then you should go to Barak first. It saves you some prayer over time. As you can see, I just got some rotten food there, but going down to the first one. They shouldn't really take that long to kill if you have decent major level and fairly decent equipment stats. So that's Dark's done, I do believe, and just up from him is Guffin, which is another melee. So you want to be playing melee against him, obviously. But he's actually my tunnel, and like one of the 6 brothers will be your tunnel, and you go down into like this cave thing with all sorts of doors that switch around each time, and it's quite a lot of hassle, but I'll show you that. So I'm fighting Kirill, I believe it's pronounced, and he's the ranger. He's quite easy to hit with mage, so he don't take too long. And this should be Torag, I think. Yep. I think I might be lagging here a bit, but you know. But anyways, you want to be praying melee against him, because he hits a fair bit and it's just easier to stock up a couple of prayer pots than actual eat, because you do get hit quite a lot in the tunnel. So this now leaves Arim and Varric left, I think. So we're going to him next, and he's the one that you don't pray against, so ignore that I just started praying, because I don't know, I think I thought that I was not as far around as I actually was. He hits sometimes, but when he does it, it's a fair bit. But he's really not that much of a threat. So now the last one I'm going to is Arim. He is the major, which is, if you're using the mage option, will probably be the one you'll struggle most against, because where he's quite, he's wearing actual Arim's armour, so it's quite hard to hit on him using mage. So this is where the mace comes in handy. It does hit sometimes, not very often, but it gets its health down that a little bit more, makes it that a little bit quicker. And I wouldn't recommend using the blood spell, I can't think of what it's called now, but blood blitz to heal your health here, because I don't think it cuts into your profits a fair bit and it don't really do an awful lot. But that's only if you're on the ancients. So I'm actually in the tunnel at the minute, and if you run into the corners of the tunnel, you can see where their chest is and see your route around. And what it does is it spirals inwards, so you want to be going around, and like I am here. The Barrows brother that you find the tunnel in the tomb, he will actually appear somewhere along the lines, or somewhere around when you're going into the chest. He generally comes when you're going through the doorways, or sometimes even when you open the chest, and you want to kill him pretty sharpish. It's just hassle, really, not really that much bother. So once you've actually stopped and killed him, then you can continue on your way to find the chest. The doors that lead into the chest will have these weird little puzzle things on them, and if you get them wrong, the door will actually change, so you have to run all the way around again, and the creatures attack you whilst you're doing it, so that's kind of annoying. But once you do it for a little while, you sort of get to know the answers. People say that you have to slay a certain amount of creatures in the dungeon to get a good drop, but I didn't really bother because the amount of time and the charges that it'd take. And I had a fairly decent amount of drops in the end of my polypore charges. But so much for the way out, you just run back the way you came and look for the rope that you come down in. Now this route won't always be the same, because you go down in different parts of the cave, and the doors are, some doors you can go in, some doors you can't. So I would price check the loot I got from this particular trip, but I sort of can't because I already had previous trips in my inventory. So that's actually it for that Barrows run. So I'll be back in a minute with the 3000 polypore charges loot. This is probably the part that most of you watch this video for, and as you'll see in a minute, I will actually price check the loot sooner or later. Yeah, there we go. I actually got 34k coins just from the chest itself. I remember I had something like that. I think it was either 1 mil deferens or 1.4 mil deferens. I actually ended up getting 4 Barrows items, and the other loots that I've seen, they haven't really got that many from this many, from the amount of trips that I've actually done. So just offered a G to sell it now, because as we probably all know, the price checker lies and it don't sell for half the price it normally does. But still, at the end, I do believe I actually end up with around about 4 mil worth of gear, coins, which has definitely paid for the gear. Like the polypore stuff, I bought it at like 50k, but yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend doing it for that long, because it just isn't good. I pretty much no-lifed, probably about a day and a half doing this. Didn't die once, which was quite quite an achievement for me, but it's only 4 mil. You could probably make that much doing dragons easily. But it was something new, it was something different. It was actually quite fun doing it as well, because I don't normally do barrows that much. And rest of the video is just me selling the items. I think I end up with about 4 mil. Oh, and if you saw that I actually had 67 charges left in the polypore staff, that's because I didn't want to actually like get halfway through a trip and find out that I had not enough charges to finish it off. Roughly, I actually went for about 100 charges per run, which makes it 3,000 charges in the polypore staff, so that's about 30 trips of barrows roughly. It's actually very rough, but you know, it's around that general area. So rest of the video is just me selling all the loot and getting the final amount of money. If you like my videos, give it a like. Have any suggestions, I'm open to them. Post them in the comments or just send me an inbox or whatever. Sorry about the kind of bad quality for the video and the bad editing and all that. That's because I'm using Windows Movie Maker at the minute, and Hypercam 2 I believe it's called. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope it helped, leave some feedback, and see you in the next video.
See, here's the thing. We're both here right now. So sexy.